Welcome to this week's 5 Minutes of Revelation, and today in those 5 minutes, I'm in Tenerife at my parents' house. Welcome to this week's 5 Minutes of Revelation, and this week and the next I'll be here in Tenerife at my parents' house, and it's beautiful here, but as usual it won't stop me from bringing 5 minutes of revelation to you. And this week I want to encourage you with a verse in Joshua 5, and that's 13 and 14. Here it says, "Now when Joshua was near Jericho, he looked up and saw a man standing in front of him with a drawn sword in his hand. Joshua went up to him and asked, 'Are you for us or for our enemies?'" So Joshua sees this great, impressive man standing there. And now he wants to know who this man is for, because Joshua knows that this man is going to win the battle. And then this is what he replies. "Neither," he replied, "but as commander of the army of the Lord I have now come." See, here this great man appears in front of Joshua, and he wants to know, well, who is this guy fighting for? Who is this man of God fighting for? Who is this commander of the armies of God fighting for? But he says he's fighting for neither. And now, how is this encouraging? Well, let me tell you, because way too often we fight about trivial things. Way too often we think it's so important whether we are right or whether we are wrong, and we totally forget what God is for. And that's what we need to do in our lives. Instead of trying to protect our own way of thinking, instead of trying to show everyone how right we are and how wrong they are, we should come before God and see what side God is on. Or not what side He's on, but see what's God's interest in that situation. Because way too often, God is on neither side. He's got His own team, and it's up to you to come to Him and team up with Him, because when you team up with God, your problems will be so small, they will be so insignificant that you can just overcome them right away. And that's what I want to encourage you with today. Far too often we fight about trivial things. And if you look in your life, you might have problems. There might be certain situations in your life. There might be people in your life that you're still fighting with. And it's probably about something that's just really not important at all. And the problems you have in your life, they're small and they're easy for you to overcome. But you're still trying to go at them and trying to overcome your problems in a way that's simply not God's way, in your own way, and you're trying to get God's blessing for that situation. Well, let me tell you, instead of trying to get God to bless whatever you're doing, how about you find out what God is all about? How about you find out what's God's interest in that situation? Then team up with Him, because then your problems will simply dissolve in His presence. See, because it's not hard for God to cause you to overcome whatever you're facing. It's not hard for God to bring you the victory in whatever situation you're in. But as long as you're trying to go at them in your own ability, with the power that you can create by yourself, those problems will be too strong and they will simply overpower you. And that's why today I want you to team up with God, just like Joshua did back then. Because the angel, or this commander of the armies of God, doesn't that sound great? This commander told him, well, I'm not on your side and I'm not on your enemy's side. I've got my own team. Now, if you team up with me, you will win, you will succeed. And that's a word for you today. Find out what's God's interest in your situation. Then team up with Him and overcome your problem in God's ability. See, because as soon as you're on God's team, your problem is too weak, your problem is too small to stand a chance. Because here in 1 John 4:4 it says, "You, dear children, are from God and have overcome them." This talks about the world, the problems of this world. You have overcome them, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. Hallelujah. So the one who is in you, and this is God, is greater than the one who is in the world, and that is your problems. So whatever you're facing today, don't try to overcome them in your ability and try to get God to bless your idea. Come to God, get the idea, get the inspiration to overcome your problem from Him, and then you will simply overrun them because they're way too small and they're way too weak to stand in God's way and to therefore stand in your way when you team up with God. And that's what I want to encourage you with today. Come to God, get His direction, and then go that way, and you will simply overcome. So take this with you. Be blessed by that. Don't forget to read your chapter a day, and I'll see you again.